Not as good as I once was. So. Well, a weekend that was tough for the Valley Wildcats. Might have just got even tougher. The second place team in the league rolls into town. The Eastern Dukes are welcomed into Berwick to take on the Valley Wildcats here on High Button Sports. My name's Jaden Camo, welcoming you inside the Kings Mutual Century Center here in Berwick, Nova Scotia, better known as the Apple Dome, for a Sunday morning matchup between the Eastern Dukes and the Valley Wildcats. We'll get set for the anthem as both teams hit the ice, and we'll send it down to the PA announcer.
Please stand if you are able to and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
We're just about set to go here from Berwick on High Button Sports. We'll take a quick look at the standings coming into this one. The Eastern Dukes moving a little bit closer to the St. John Vitoes, who also picked up a win yesterday. The Eastern Dukes fresh off a 5-2 victory over the Kings Hockey Club in Windsor at the West End Sportsplex, while the Vitoes picking up the 2 points that they earned here at the Apple Dome. We'll head back to center ice. We'll get you set with your starting goaltenders in just a moment. For the Eastern Dukes, it'll be number 31, Mason McCausland. And on the other end of the ice, number 30, the brick wall for the Wildcats, Owen Witter, fresh off a start yesterday. Witter also got the call up to the U18 squad, who were victorious 4-3 over the Martin Milko Hunters. Linesman just getting Witter's net secured down there on the moorings and making sure the mesh is all set to go before we get set for face-off here at center ice. Referees will skate to center, and we're just about set here from Berwick. And we're off. The Wildcats control off the draw. It's back to Gambin. Now Nickerson plays this one up through center. He bobbles that one. Now it's up the wall. Back to Gambin. He'll control. Now Nickerson. He played that one in. It gets put back to the point, but Thomas Gambin able to hold the line 2 or 3 times. Now Murnahan goes cross ice. Nickerson was looking for a bump there, but just missed his man. Now Murnahan will go back and recollect it for the Eastern Dukes, working out behind McGoslin. Now Murnahan goes wide. Pass over to Gardner, he'll dump this one in. Picked up behind the net. That's Ringette. Jackson Ringette sends one in. McCausland out to play it. He's well out of his crease. And this one goes up the wall. Terrace now spins off the check back to Pearl. Pearl tries to make a move. He's got the puck in his feet. And this one's turned the other way. Back go the Dukes. Good play by Gosling defensively there to break down that three-man rush. And now a chance out to the slot. The shot is turned aside by Witter. And he'll hold on. Working back out on the draw. Breen and English. This one's one forward by English, but now the Wildcats control. Nolan Breen tried to feed one through center to Zach Banks, who also had the call up yesterday with the U18 squad. Played a very good game last night here in Berwick for the Beige Valley Wildcats. Now the Dukes trying to break out behind their own net. A long pass touched on the wrong side of the red, so it might be an ice. Called off as Cameron beats his man at the puck, almost bumping him into Whittier. Now out to the top of the slot. This one gets back to the Dukes. They'll play pitch and catch along the blue line, but this one it's out of the reach. A big hit thrown on the far side. And that worked back around for Blandon. Blandon takes a bump, and Nickerson comes in and bumps him. Now Etheridge giving chase on the far side. Blandon gives him a bump, so Etheridge holds up. You know Jaden Etheridge always looking to, but this one turned aside by Witter as well. And this one will be held on to a face-off. Jaden Etheridge with the lone goal yesterday for the Wildcats. And now Cameron McQuay, Cohen Pearl, and Jack Terrace will work their way back out here for the Wildcats. Terrace trying to find that loose puck off the draw. McCray will gather it up on the far side in the corner. Now back down low. Troops battling down there with McCray. This one gets sent to the slot. Played out past the line. And Dunn will go back to collect it for the Dukes. Playing it far side and up the wall. Now it's out to center. To McCormick. He's racing in. Plays it around the wall. Terrace going to be first to it. And that cross-ice pass just off the skates of Pearl on the right side of the red line. So that'll be no ice as Pearl goes back to give chase. Now Banks on the forecheck. Just couldn't get a stick on that one. It's worked up the other way by Dunn to McCormick. Now McCormick working in back door, and that one's just wide of the net on the far side. Now away go the Wildcats. Pearl tried to play that one down the ice. It's back for Ty Murnahan. Murnahan with a long pass out to center. This one's taken away or recollected. And we'll get a whistle here just outside the Dukes line. Offside the call. Now the Dukes played into the offensive zone off the draw. Gosling says hello to his man down there in the corner, gives him a good shove. Now Murnahan goes back up the wall. Ringette has to give chase, and that one will be an icing call on the play. So we'll go 200 feet back down to the left of Mason McGoslin with 15:26 left to go here in the first period. Shots 4-0 in favor of the Dukes. But the Wildcats looking to press here and get something going offensively. Face off won by Nickerson, and they'll look to send a sharp angle shot on, and that one's turned aside by McGoslin. We'll redo the face off right where we came from. Now up ahead. The shot from Hartman just went off the glass, and Witter will gain control of that one, holding on for the whistle. Broussard and McRae on the draw, and McRae wins that one back. It gets to the point, tipped on, but that one's kept out by Owen Witter once again. The tip from Jackson Gardner, tried to find the 5-hole, but Witter able to close up and shut the door. McRae and Broussard on the draw again. Cameron tried to play it around. He had that one bobble off his stick. It's played off a tip and into the half wall area. Now McRae picks it up, tried to go hard off the wall. Now a chance in front. That one put wide of the net. McRae will go up the wall to Pearl. Pearl tried to chip that one. McDonald sends a shot on. That one's tipped by Gardner. And now a chance away. McRae's floating at the offensive blue. He's got Pearl with him. He chips it down in deep. Jack Terrace going to meet that puck down behind the net. Now Gambin working back in defensively after taking a bump. But he's all right. He'll get back up into the play as the Dukes work it back into the defensive zone, looking to regroup and set up. But Pearl takes that one away. He's worked down, no call. Now Henry working into the offensive zone. He'll get met with a bump there from Stoddard. Now it's worked around. Intended pass for Banks. Got taken away. That shot goes wide of the net. And now Henry plays it back around the wall. Fisher goes back to the point. It's played back down deep. Now the Dukes looking to set up back to the point for Henry. He goes cross ice. That one's played back down low to the left of Witter. Banks off the dasher boards, and that one's cleared out to center ice. Zach Banks giving chase. And now it's tipped down into the Wildcats' end. Jack Ringette going to be first to it. Now Ringette still has control. He sends one around the wall. Ketty going to be first to it. Peyton Ketty with a man on him. He evades the bump from Fisher. Ketty's going to give chase, but that puck played up around the wall off the stanchion. And Ringette will have to ease off. This one's sent down the ice. Will it have enough for the icing? No, as the linesman waves it off last second. Ringette took a bump down in low, but this one's quickly worked back out to the slot. Ketty works it back down in. McGoslin will look to play it up the wall one more time like he did before. Now Dunn back behind his net. Quick pass up the wall to McCormick. McCormick plays it in, gives a bump down there, and in comes Braden Nickerson. Now Murnahan goes cross ice. And Aylward will play this up the far side wall. Oh, chance in front. Witter there. And now a couple of players get toppled on top of Witter. Witter looks like he's no worse for wear, getting right up there. And now Dunn working in, backdoor, they score. Colin McCormick gets the last touch on the backdoor feed. And the Eastern Dukes make it 1-0. No chance for Whittier there on the back door. He was let out to dry on that one. A man sitting right on the back post. And the Wildcats will look to get back into this one. Face off is one and send right back into the Wildcats zone. It's set up back to the point to McDonald. The line of Terrace, McRae, and Pearl out here to get something going. This one sent up the wall. Terrace now over to Pearl. Pearl back to Terrace. That one just taken away. And now McRae will gather this one up. Looking to go back to the point to Gambrin. That one's off a stick, and the Dukes might be away with numbers. Now things get settled up as McCormick works it back in. His shot goes wide of the net. That one's batted onto the side and stuck onto the meshing, but this one's cleared by the Wildcats. Sent cross ice to Jack Terrace, and he'll work his way in. Up to Ringette. Jack Ringette going to work his way in. That shot turned aside by McCausland. And held on to for the whistle. 10:03 left to go. Shots 11-2 in favor of the Dukes. They've poured a lot of shots on to Owen Whittier. He stood tall and stood up to the task. Now the face-off one, and Henry will play it up the wall. It gets played into the feet of Breen. And now back up through center. That one played back into the Wildcats' possession, and they'll flick it right back into the Duke zone. A chance away on the backhand. That one taken away by a great defensive play from Jackson Ringette. Ringette able to fend off Godkin as he was trying to break in. Godkin and Banks worked in off the draw, and Banks won that one ahead. Or Breen, excuse me. But that one worked too far, and that'll be an icing call, so we'll go right back down to the right of Owen Whittier and redo that face-off. Breen and Godkin on the draw. Now a chance up for center. There goes Zach Banks looking to break in, and that was just played wide of his stick. Blandon looking to break up this one, and he's got a chance away with one man to beat. And he's held up at the line. Now this one goes wide for Godkin. They'll play it in with a bump coming in from Braden Nickerson. You can always count on number 9 to finish his checks. Now a pass up the wall. That one up the wall and played back into the Wildcat zone. Now a bump in there involving the linesman over on the far side. Now back for Troop. This one's played down in behind the net, behind McCausland. Murnahan stopped up, and he's got control behind the net. Murnahan up the wall. This one's played back to net, or to Cameron at the point. And he runs into his man. Now back to the point, Cameron. He's got it, looking for an option. He spins it back down into the corner for Nickerson. Nickerson gets a bump down there for Murnahan, and he's still got a chance to get possession, but this one's worked to the slot and worked away. Terrace now. They'll go up to Cameron, who hits Pearl. That one's whipped on, and Pearl's got a chance to work in with Colby Troop going to the back door. And now it's worked back up into Duke's possession. They'll work away with numbers, and the Wildcats will have to back check here. Backdoor shot for the Dukes, and they put that one home. Mason English on the back door, rips it upstairs, and the Dukes have taken a 2-0 lead here in Berwick. Now off the draw, it's played down in onto Witter, and he'll hold on with 6:45 left to go here in the first period. Face-off one, it's played down low. Pass out front, Witter's there on the backdoor chance, and that one's put home. The Eastern Dukes make it 3-0 here in Berwick early off a backdoor chance. The rebound unable to be cleared. Witter doing everything he can to keep these Cats in it. Now Blandon sends a bump on to Dunn. So Sam Dunn, the official goal scorer on that last call. As this one goes back to McDonald at the point, it's blocked in front. And now a battle ensues down in the corner. Ringette trying to work this one free. It'll go up the wall, and this one's played off the glass. Back to McDonald, and he'll send it right back in. Ringette goes up the wall to Madden Blandon out through center. That pass intended for Nickerson. It was off his stick and back up the wall. Fisher let it go for Blandon, and this one's played back down in to Mason McCausland. Fisher now through center. He had a man working in offside, and now it's played up for Jaden Etheridge, the lone goal scorer in yesterday's contest. Can he have one here today? Now played back down. Etheridge giving chase down there to Henry. Now played back into the Wildcat zone. Troop plays it up the wall. Pearl played it back around. Cameron trying to chip at it. McCormick now with it as well. He spins, and out front it's played into the corner by Troop. A good defensive effort. Now back to the wall. Henry will go down low. And back door. This one's off the post. And now chipped ahead. Jack Terrace has a chance away. He's got two men breaking down on him. He's got an angle cutting down as well. And that one's tipped on. Just held on to by McCausland. Great effort there by number 21, Jack Terrace, to break up start some offense for the Wildcats. Only their third registered shot of the game. Now McCormick working back in, that pass into the slot, intercepted and worked back away. Zach Banks puts it up the wall. And this one's sent in, going to be a penalty called here, possibly. I didn't see the play 100%. But we will await the official penalty call from the PA announcer. Now played back into the Wildcats territory. They're on the power play here for 2 or less. So McRae working in here on the penalty to Connor Arsenault for the hook. Back to the wall to Gambin. He'll play it down into the feet of McRae. He's tied up. Nickerson coming down to help out, as well as Terrace. Now Nickerson plays it back up the wall. McRae kicks it back and gets the return feed. Now McRae going cross ice to Pearl. That one just missed his feet. And now McRae trying to drive into the front of the net. That one turned aside by McCausland. The loose puck is there. Back to the point. Gambin, his shot wide of the net. And McCausland jumping way out to cover that one. Puck is loose. And the ref blows it very early. And it looks like we'll get another penalty here. Looks like they might take them both. So Nickerson going to the box, as well as one other Duke. Didn't catch who it was. We'll wait to see the numbers pop up on the board, but some pushing and shoving down in the corner. We'll keep things 5-on-4 here as Jaden Etheridge works back out onto the ice. Jack Terrace and Cohen Pearl out there as well with Cameron McRae. This one sent towards the net, turned aside by McCausland as Pearl works the point here as the quarterback. Now a chance for Terrace. That one goes through his legs. Said it yesterday, these Wildcats love to go east to west to set up Jack Terrace for the one-timer, and there it was. That one just going through his legs. Stuck a microphone on Jack Terrace for warm-up. It'll create some great content. Jack Terrace, a great sport. As the Wildcats work back into the offensive zone, McRae plays it back to Thomas Gambin. And this one's worked all the way back down into the Wildcats' end. Owen Whittier plays it there. It's time for Patrick Gosling. The big man will send one cross ice intended for Zach Banks, but it's played up the wall. Now Langell has it, trying to rip one towards the net. Now Godkin back down low. As both teams are back to even strength. McDonald will send a shot on, gloved up by Whitter. And he'll hold on for a face-off. 1:42 left to go here in the first period. Shot 17-5 in favor of the Dukes in a 3-0 lead. Now this one played back down and behind the net. Langell tried to center it. Couldn't go, and he'll work it back out to the top of the slot. Elected not to shoot that one. Plays it back to the point. A shot goes in. That's wide of the net. Into the corner. Working down in was McDonald, looking to pinch, but this one gets played into Wildcats' possession. Now they'll work it up the wall. Godkin playing it back in. The shot goes wide of the net and played around the wall. Up to the point. It just scoots out past the blue line, and we're down to the final 60 here in the first. Now Ringette goes hard off the glass. This one's back to McDonald. He'll spin away from the check of Nolan Breen. Now McDonald working back in. Tried to play one across for Godkin. That one's taken away. Goes back down low. Working around Langell. That one's turned aside by Witter one more time. And that one's off the post. Terrace now. Plays it back to Cameron, who goes up for Peyton Getty. Getty sends a bump down there into his man. And with 15 to go, that'll be an icing call. So we'll work ourselves back down into the Duke zone with 15 more seconds before Mitchell Best comes out and gives us a fresh new sheet of ice. Now off the draw, 5 seconds to go. Cameron trying to work in with some possession. He gets bumped from behind. No call on the play. And that'll do it here for the first 20 minutes at the Apple Dome. The Eastern Dukes lead the Valley Wildcats 3-0 here on High Button Sports. We'll be back for the second period of play right after this. Welcome back inside the Kings Mutual Century Center here in Berwick for the second period of play between the Eastern Dukes and the Valley Wildcats. Through the first period and the first 20 minutes of play, the Eastern Dukes have a 3-0 lead over the Wildcats. Their shots are 18-5 in favor of the Dukes. And folks, down in Bedford at the BMO Center, the Basin Armada hold a 4-2 lead over the St. John Vitoes. And if the Armada are able to hold that lead in the next 5 minutes of play in the third period, the Eastern Dukes will take over first place in the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League with a win here today. Not sure if the players and coaches are aware of that, but that is the stipulation that the standings have for us on this very day as we get set for the second period. And that one's off into the Wildcat zone. This one's played back up to center ice. And out for Murnahan. Murnahan goes up for McCormick. But that one's played out of possession and back up the wall. Aylward plays one in, and now his defense partner Murnahan goes in, and he's going to take a penalty as he trips up Thomas Gambin down low. So the Wildcats will head off to the power play. Just like I mentioned in the first period. Oh, never mind. Jack Terrace goes off to the bench, so they won't be looking for that east to west connection with Terrace here on the one-timer. This one goes back in behind Witter. Witter able to hold up the Dukes forward for a couple of seconds to allow his teammates a clean breakout as Ty Murnahan sits in the box. Taylor Stoddard collects it, goes through center, through a couple of legs. This one's picked up on the half wall. Sent back down. Keddy, Banks, and Breen out there. Back down to Breen. Gosling hits Banks. Banks looking for an option. He'll circle out. This one's put in front. And now the rebound sits there. That one's just cleared wide. Kept in at the line by Stoddard. Now he's stripped, and away goes Godkin. Godkin works in and shelves it. Going Godkin. Works in all alone, shorthanded. Puts one upstairs under the bar. It's 4-0. Face-off is one to the side and picked up by Jack Ringette. He'll play it across for Colby Troop. This pass is intercepted. And now a shot goes in. That one's up over the netting and around the glass. Now a chance up. Blandon now. He'll work in through center. Trying to make a move. Madden Blandon to the net. Rebound. And that one's taken away. Another penalty coming here to the Dukes. As Etheridge working in there, looking to get under the skin of anybody he can as Broussard. Heads off to the box. So Dion Broussard joins Ty Murnahan in the box. And the Wildcats have a quick 5-on-3 for 25 seconds. And now Jack Terrace out there looking to unload. There he is. That one just fanned on, and that one gets on to McCausland. He'll cover up. Great idea by the Wildcats. Now played back to the half wall. Terrace goes back to the point to Gambin. Gambin sends a shot in, gloved on by McCausland. And he'll hold on for the face-off. We'll switch sides. And come to McCausland's right for the draw. Now a shot from Terrace gets put off the pad of McCausland. It's played back to the wall, and Gambin unable to keep it in. Now 1 second left on the penalty on Murnahan. He'll jump back into the bench, and out comes Gardner to take his place. Working it back down is Cameron McRae. Out front they go. Shot from Nickerson goes wide of the net. Now back up around the wall. Gambin collects. Goes cross ice to Pearl. Pearl shot goes good and they score! Going Pearl rips one through a screen on the power play, and this one goes upstairs on Mason McCausland. And the Wildcats have cut the lead to 3. Now the face-off one, it's played ahead. Another penalty coming, this time to the Wildcats. Now worked ahead for Dunn. McCausland trying to work his way around a couple of bodies to get to the net. Now it's played back almost into the empty net. Now Green with pressure still coming. Now Dunn works it in. He's going to try and center one. He'll take it behind the net instead. Now McCormick. Down low for Green. Back up top to McCormick. He goes cross ice. That one off a stick of Peyton Ketty. Now this one finally sent up into the glass. Not sure that whistle should have been called as it wasn't in Wildcats' possession yet. But nonetheless, we will get a penalty. This one coming to Peyton Ketty. So he'll set for 2 or less. The Wildcats closing the gap in the shot department, now 12-19. Now a chance in front. That one just turned aside. McDonald unable to hold the line at the point. Yeah, he'll skate back for it. Now up the wall they go. Pass intended there for Hartman, but that was out of his reach. Now Arsenault plays it cross ice back for Dunn. Dunn working in. He'll take a bump there from Nickerson, who loses his stick. Now work down off the glass, and that one's into the Duke's bench. So the puck out of play. We'll get a face-off back down to the right of Owen Witter with 15-12 to go here in the second period. The Wildcats cutting the Duke's lead to 3 after a point shot from Cohen Pearl a few minutes ago. Colby Troop collects this one in the point. He'll be met there by a couple of Dukes, and now a third. Good job by Troop to hold this puck behind the net. And now this one finally goes all the way down the ice, 200 feet to McCausland. He'll leave it there, and out to play that up the ice is Aylward. Madden Blandon there to receive it and send it back 200 feet. Now up the wall the Dukes go. It's played up from McCormick. He'll drive in behind the net on the backhand, looking to set up. Goes back to the point to Aylward. His shot blocked away by Whittier into the corner. And now a offside call will be called as Sam Dunn works in off over the line ahead of the play. So with 14:10 to go here in this second frame, 13 seconds left on the penalty to Peyton Ketty. We'll head back right outside the Wildcats line. A face-off is controlled by the Wildcats, and Jack Terrace tried to feed one through. This one goes back to Witter, and he'll leave it there for the captain, Thomas Gambin. Tried to hit McRae on the headman pass. This one out of his reach. And now a good hit there by McRae to separate his man from the puck. Now Gardner working in, drops a pass there. And now played back for the Dukes. Bowering plays one up. It's onto the stick of Gardner. Now he's working in. McRae trying to work in and take that one away from Dion Broussard. Now back, Bowering has it in the corner. It's played. Now Gardner goes back down up the wall. And this one's taken away by Jack Terrace. He'll work away. Terrace sends it in. Now played up the wall. This one's kept in by Patrick Gosling. Sent in on net. Played by McCausland. And we'll keep things going. This one's worked up the wall by Henry. He'll take a bump from Gambin. The solid defense out at the slot. A chance for Terrace. And this one is turned aside by McCausland. 12:48 left to go here in this second frame. Now working back up is Langell. Played it there for Hartman. Hartman will carry it into the offensive zone. Drop back now for Patrick Gosling. Now working it backdoor shot, and Witter gets a piece of that one, holding his own. That's the 21st shot Witter's faced in this hockey game. Now back to the point. Aylward sends a shot through, blocked away by Witter one more time, and Gosling, the big man, jumps up, grabs that one, sending it down to Banks. They'll go back around. And now this one's lifted down by Jack Ringette. This will go all the way for the icing. So an icing call here with 11:33 to go. Now off the draw, it's played back to center. And the Dukes will start from their own end. Now McDonald sends a backhander up. That's off the chest of Arsenault. Now cross ice they go for Dunn. Dunn gets the return feed in the corner. Arsenault comes in to help out. Played to McCormick, but this one's taken away. Madden Blandon working in, trying to send a bump on to McDonald as he does, working him outside the blue line. Now at Gosling will work into the offensive zone. Playing it back around the net to Blandon. It's just out of his reach. And Dunn will play one up the wall. Now cross ice to go, intended for Arsenault. And this one's going to be rimmed back around the wall off the stanchion. And now a weird bounce will head right onto this tape of Madden Blandon. They'll send this one down off the glass, and McGoslin will hold up for the face-off. So, folks, the Basin Armada take down the St. John Vitoes 4-2. So the Vitoes not collecting any more points today. They'll stay at 35 points. If the Dukes can pick up the 2 points here in Berwick, they'll move into first place for the time being. And now this one's played around the wall. Onto the stick of Terrace. He plays it back down into the corner, trying to get in there and work some offensive magic out of this one, but it's played back down the wall. Dunn plays it across, and they score. What a beauty. Cash Fisher. Forehand, backhand. How do you do? It's 5-1. Now off the draw, it's played down into the Duke's zone. The Wildcats working three heavy, trying to turn one over. Breen tried to play one over for Peyton Ketty. Now Banks in there trying to work one free. Zach Banks goes back up the wall. This one's into a couple of feet. Played back up for Ketty. Now Troop will play it down. Out front, there's Banks trying to work in. That one's off the stick. And now through the feet of Ketty. And now back up ahead. Banks trying to race after it. It's off his skates and back out to center ice. A big hit coming on the far side, and that'll take care of one man, but the Dukes working back in. They score. Mason English under the bar, and that'll make it 6 here for the Eastern Dukes. The Wildcats have called a timeout, so we'll be right back here on High Button. We'll take a look at the league standings quickly. Now you can see the Eastern Dukes sitting 34. St. John Vitoes sitting at 35, so 1 point ahead of the Vitoes the Dukes will be with a win here today. The Cabot Highlanders also playing the Fundy Thunder today. They're working their way closer to the top of the standings as well as the Basin Armada. They'll jump up with 33 points. So the top of this league getting very close as we start the second half of this season. Jaron Maxwell plays it into the corner. He'll come in relief of Owen Whittier. Now a chance out front. Maxwell turns it away with the pad. Yesterday it was Whittier coming in relief of Maxwell. But today it's Maxwell coming in relief of Owen Whittier. It's nice when both goalies can support each other like these two do, Maxwell and Whittier. Now this one's played back up the wall. Gardner tried to feed it up front. The stick of Maxwell got that one. And this will bounce all the way around the wall. Blandon moves his man Murnahan out of the zone, but it's kept in by Gardner. Poked to the wall. And now back around. Thomas Gambon, first to it. He'll leave one down there. That's tied up in his skates. And he's caught up with a couple of Dukes. That's McLennan working it back out front to Gardner, but that one's off the stick in front. And now a chance in. Goes over the net, back to the point for Aylward, and he'll send one in. Work down the ice. Now for Murnahan. He's got Etheridge on him, and he takes a hack, but that'll bring a penalty. So Etheridge will head off for the slash as Mason McCausland has some words for Cameron McRae on the way back to the net. Now Fisher plays one back down low to McCormick. The Duke skipper. Down low, it's a shot from Langell up high, turned aside by Maxwell. Now McCormick goes back to the point. Fisher back down low to Langell. Now McCormick, the captain, he'll go back up top. This one's turned aside. A shot goes off the shin pads of McRae. Now he's away. McRae working in, just couldn't get full control of that one, and he plays it in front onto the stick of Aylward. And the Dukes will reset. 1:15 to go here on the power play. And they work it back out to center McDonald now. Now McCormick will play it back down low. It's Fisher gathering that one up. Now he's on the half wall playing pitch and catch down low. This one's out to McCormick. His shot's blocked. And now Ringette will slap one down the ice. With 5:40 to go here in the second period. 39 seconds left to go on the power play for the Dukes. Now English collects it on the half wall. He goes up to Arsenault. Arsenault drops there, back to English. And he hits done. Back to the point. And now back for English. Lots of puck movement on this Dukes power play. Not a whole lot of shooting going on, but that's all right when you're up 6-1. Now Hartman working in behind the net. Pinching in is McDonald. He keeps it alive. Hartman goes down low. Chance in front. That one's on to English's tape, but held out into the glove of Jaron Maxwell. And he'll hold on for the faceoff. 4:51 to go here in the second period. Now a chance in. The Dukes working off the half wall, but this one will be played out. And now away goes Banks. Zach Banks trying to spin one in for Nolan Breen. And now Pearl. He gets it shot off the short side. He tries to bank another one in. He'll work it on the backhand. He scores! Cohen Pearl. Have a day, kid. Second of the day, and it's a beauty. Working around the net. One chance, two chances, and the third one finds the back of the net. Now this one's worked off the draw.
Wildcats scored his second of the game, scored by number 10, Cohen Pearl. Assist by number 6, Weston Jennings. Time to goal.
Back to the point. It's kept in by Bowering and now sent down low. Gambin picks it up behind the nettle. Look to play it to the half wall. This one gets played over for Banks. Hits Pearl. And this one's put into the zone. McCausland out to play it. Kicked back in by Colby Troop. Troop now working in as he'll retreat back to the point. Gambin has to get back now as well. The Dukes working in 2-on-1. Landell trying to find a man back door, but that one is cleared off the backside of Colby Troop, but now out of danger. Now Pearl working in. He's got two. He's on hat-trick watch here today for the Wildcats. Cohen Pearl plays it around the wall. And now on the near side, a puck battle ensues. Jack Terrace in there. Cameron McRae as well. And McRae works it free. He'll work it cross ice for Colby Troop. That one down low for Nickerson. Around for McRae, but this one escapes the zone. And the Wildcats captain, Thomas Gambin, will have to come back and pick this one up. He's got room. Gambin works in, goes back door. And that one's just turned aside. Now up. McRae back for Gambin. Shot in for Terrace. That one's just tipped wide. Now out through center, it's Godkin. And that one worked in offside as Hartman took a bump. Slow to get to his feet, but he'll make his way back to the bench. 2:11 left to go here in the second period. 25-16, the shots on net. Now Blandon dumps one in. Goes deep. McCausland out to play it. Up the wall they go. And Blandon able to intercept this one. Plays it back down for Banks. Banks will go in for Etheridge. But the Dukes able to play this one back up the wall. Banks, though, will keep it in. Etheridge giving chase down in the corner. Murnahan goes up the wall. And now to the far side. Aylward plays it up ahead for McCormick. He gets the return feed. Now tied up down there is McCormick and Josh Cameron. Or Aylward and Cameron, excuse me, as McCormick works in. Throws a backhander to the net. That one's tipped just wide by Arsenault. And now back to the point they go. Arsenault goes up the near side for McCormick. He works in. And now Pearl working away. He's got a chance for three, but that one just kept out by McCausland. Nolan Breen working back in on the draw here for the Wildcats. This one's played back to the point. It scoots past the blue line, and Jackson Ringette will have to get back and play this one in. McCausland plays a backhander up the wall, and that one's chipped at, but not out. Pearl working back, his shot off the Dashers. Now back around in front, a chance for Pearl. He was looking to wind up and fire. But that one just missed his tape. Now back away they go. It's Nolan Breen. He hits Pearl. Working back in with 3. Pearl shot out in the slot. Banks unable to get a stick on that one. And it's worked back up the other way. And now the period comes to the end. A couple of power plays, or a power play coming for the Dukes, it looks like. And now a penalty for Green as well. So a couple of power plays, or penalties, coming to start this third period. We'll be right back on High Button Sports with the third period of play. Stay tuned. Welcome back inside the Kings Mutual Century Center, better known as the Apple Dome here in Berwick, Nova Scotia, for the third period of play between the Eastern Dukes and the Valley Wildcats. The Dukes lead the Wildcats 6-2 through 2 periods of play. A couple of goals from Cohen Pearl, one on the power play, a point shot, and another in the second period, a third chance opportunity. And Pearl able to bang home a couple here today. We'll wait for the referees to escape to center ice. We're just about set for the face-off at the start of the third period. We thank you for tuning into High Button Sports. And the Eastern Dukes looking to take care of this one and move solely into first place. So 2 coincidental penalties at the end of the second period. Carry over here. We'll work back out to center ice for the draw, right outside the Dukes line. Now this one intended to go cross ice was taken away, and now Dion Broussard works it back up. Quincy McLennan tried to play one through McCray now. Now this one's cleared off the wall, and that'll be a face-off as this puck goes out of play. Now a chance back out for the Wildcats to regroup. They'll send this one cross ice. It's Gosling playing this one up. Down into the near side corner. Henry goes across for Bowering. Now Fisher up the wall, plays it ahead, and a 2-on-1 coming here. English away with Dunn. That one taken away by the stick of Patrick Gosling. Now Etheridge trying to get in there and cause a disruptance. And that one just sent over the net. Jaden Etheridge doing his best to get that shot on net. Now a pass near side for Cash Fisher. Works in, that one taken away, and Gosling will give him a bump. Ketty works in there as well, along with Nolan Breen, and Peyton Ketty works this one along the near side wall. Now Gosling out to play it. He'll go up the wall. This one's taken away by Fisher. Now worked back out by Gosling. He'll lift one deep into the offensive zone, and he'll head off for a change. But the linesman will say Gosling didn't get the right side of the red line, and they'll head back for the icing. Now back to the point. Murnahan will send one deep. Now back up the wall. This one played to McDonald. He gets there, and they'll play one back for Murnahan. Murnahan up the wall to Dunn. This one poked ahead, and Cameron will corral that loose puck. Now a bounce off the half wall right into the slot area. Was cleared by Peyton Ketty, and then this one sent right back into the defensive zone for the Wildcats. Taylor Stoddard plays it around the wall. Up to Ketty. Ketty goes cross ice, intended for Jack Terrace. That one just bobbled off the toe of his stick. And now back up for Dunn. Dunn working in. Now Dunn sends a long shot in. It's turned aside with the pad of Jaron Maxwell. And moved up the wall. Pearl tried to poke one ahead. Shot from Aylward was tipped wide, and now this one's worked around the zone. Aylward has to come back on the near side to pinch this one off and keep it in. He does. Now Pearl floats one into the offensive zone. Put a quick up the other way for the Dukes. Langell goes cross ice. Godkin picks it up. He's got a goal earlier in this one. Elward sends a shot in. They score. Nash Langell pokes the loose puck home. A shot from Aylward bounced in front of the net. And Langell able to slide it through the 5-hole. It's 7-2. Off the draw, the Dukes win this one, and it's played ahead. Down to McCausland. He picks it up. Goes across for Henry, and Henry goes back up to McDonald. Now a long cross ice feed. That one intended for Godkin. It's off his skate. And now a Hartman shot off a stick up into the netting, and we'll get a stoppage of play. 15-12 to go here in this third frame. Now a chance away for Banks. He's got Ketty backdoor. But this one taken away by McDonald. Now worked out into the slot. Ketty couldn't get a stick on that one. It's worked back in by Breen. Now up the wall. Stoddard gets a stick on that one. Plays it back up. Oh, and looking for a hit there was Henry, but he was unable to get a body on that. Now Ketty looking to pinch in. That one's into the Dukes bench. And we'll get a face-off to the right of Mason McCausland. 14:25 to go here in the final frame. Shots 29-20. The score 7-2 in favor of the Eastern Dukes. Now poked back in for Bowering. Up to the slot. English will kick that one ahead. Picked up by Murnahan. Almost taken away there by the Wildcats. And Pearl slows that chance up. McRae breaking in. Now onto the stick of Ty Murnahan, breaking out for the Dukes. Up the wall to Murnahan. He gets it back, working in through center. Cuts through a couple of bodies, and that one's just played into the corner. Now Terrace tried to feed one up to Cameron McRae. It's taken away, and sent back into the corner. Now Terrace up the wall. Couldn't get chipped out. Now Pearl has it. He's got a chance away, but this one just bobbled off the toe of his stick. And Murnahan sent it forward. Cohen Pearl looking for the third of the game for himself, but that one just taken away as the Wildcats will work back down from the offensive zone up. And this puck will slowly cross the goal line, and the linesman will wave off the icing. Nickerson goes in there, gives a bump, and the cross ice pass up for McCormick. Finds Dunn. Now Dunn. Circling. Waiting for an option. Sends one back door, and McCormick goes through the crease. Now a shot in. Maxwell blocker that one aside, and this one's played up the wall and out through center by Gambit. And now Arsenault goes to Dunn, and Dunn will sling one into the offensive zone. Now up the wall, Dukes will pick this one up. McDonald fed McCormick on the back end, but McCormick might not have been expecting that one. It's worked ahead by Langell. Or Aylward, excuse me. And now back out front, Aylward has the return feed. He's going to send a shot wide of the net. Now played to the sidewall. Now a chance off the pad of Maxwell. The rebound from Arsenault was sent well over the net. Now this puck played up the wall. Back to the point for McDonald. He goes cross ice. Aylward shot turned aside by Maxwell. It bounces up over the net and out of danger. Now back over to the half wall. McDonald racing in. Plays it back down low out to the slot. A shot goes wide of the net for McCormick. Now the Dukes trying to work back. Out to the point it goes. McDonald goes cross ice, but that one taken away by Banks. Troop in there to help out as Nickerson will rim this one around the D-zone wall. Now Gambit taken down. Couldn't get a stick on that one as it's played around to Dunn. Dunn now in the corner. He plays it out to Hartman, who tried to get a shot on, and that one's finally played down the ice. So Wildcats will get a wholesale change as the Dukes will work a quick regroup up the ice. Nash Langell goes through the middle, but this one's taken away, and now a chance ahead for Peyton Ketty. He works in. That one's turned aside by the blocker of Mason McCausland. And Gosling goes back up ice. That one off the stick of Green. Now work back ahead. Breen had that one. He spins it back up the wall, intended for Terrace. Oh no, Terrace wanted to fly off of that one, but it's just taken away. Godkin now working it back down into the offensive zone. Ketty comes in to help out, and this one's poked ahead for Jack Terrace. Now Terrace away with speed. He's got Breen on the near side working down, and Breen's going to trace into that loose puck. Terrace worked a backhander towards the net, and that one just goes wide. And now off the back of the legs there from Langell. A couple of Wildcats working in, and now Terrace away. He's going to work down the near side, the far side, excuse me. Now gets back to the point. A shot goes in, blockered away up into the high glass, and now Terrace will get one on the half wall. Going to try and work back out, and that one just taken away. Now sent back down the ice. Gosling back to get it here for the Wildcats. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the third. Now up the wall they go. Cross ice. Pearl has that one off his skate. Now back down low they go. It's up the wall. The linesman caught that one. Getting his hand up in time, and that'll be an icing call. They'll go back down to the defensive zone. For the Wildcats, that'll be another D-zone draw. Now sent back in by the Dukes off the draw. It's finally worked out to center ice, and Henry will corral it on the near side for the Eastern Dukes. It's worked back up to Gardner. Now Broussard. He takes a bump down low. And now Ringette corrals it. Out front they go. It's Gambin trying to put one to the near side. And now McCrae back up to Gambin. He had that one slide off the toe of his stick, and now working in are the Dukes. But that one turned aside by Maxwell. Bowering plays one up, a long stretch pass for Dion Broussard. Broussard met there by the hit of Braden Nickerson. And now away comes Cameron. Sends one wide, and that one's up into the glass. Hit the netting, but the netting that hangs in front of the glass, so no whistle. As Henry collects this one, he plays a man out of position. That was Etheridge, but now it's worked up the wall on the far side. Dion Broussard sends a long shot, and this one's past the net and past the glove of Jaron Maxwell. As Sam Dunn works in, a long pass up for the Wildcats. Winger was out of the reach and played back for McDonald. Now a chance in front. English working in, back door looking for Cash Fisher, and that one just wide of the net as Etheridge will play this down the ice. It'll be an icing call with 6:10 to go. So back down to the Wildcat zone we go. Face off to the left of Jaron Maxwell. Picked up and sent down the ice. Etheridge racing after that one, but that's an icing call. But a good skate from Mr. Etheridge. We'll go back down into the Wildcat zone. 6:04 to go here on the clock. English and Nickerson on the draw. It's one back by Braden Nickerson and sent around the wall. Now Langell working up. Fisher now gets a shot on. He's held into the wall. And a stoppage of play coming as Braden Nickerson will be met there by a couple of Dukes. Elward working in past the ringette line. Both of the defensemen working in past the ringette line, so the faceoff should come outside. Penalty coming here to Braden Nickerson. So with the power play coming, the faceoff will come back down into the Duke zone, or into the Wildcat zone. Arsenal, Dunn, Hartman with English and McDonald, the power play unit for the Dukes. McDonald will grab it at the point. He'll send it down low. It's played quickly back up the wall to Hartman. And he'll walk. Now McDonald into the slot for Dunn. It's worked around to the half wall. Hartman back to the point to McDonald. Now back to him. Into the slot for Dunn. A chance in tight, and that's worked away. This one will be sent down the ice by Zach Banks. And held up by Mason McCausland. McCausland plays it up the wall, and now the Dukes will work into the offensive zone on the power play. McDonald back to Dunn. His shot, that one's ripped over the net. And now McDonald working back to center. He'll try to find a man back door. They score! Mason English on the back door on the power play, and it's 8-2 for the Dukes. But a good respect play there from Mason English, not to fly by at the bench, just head right off. This one played into the Dukes bench, and we'll get a whistle. 4:13 to go here in the final frame. Now the Dukes working one back over. It's McCormick trying to make a move, but he was held up there at the blue line by Jack Ringette. Now Stoddard working in the corner, trying to work his man over. Worked out by McCormick, or Langell, and that one's held on to by Jaron Maxwell. Face off is one, and Ketty gets possession of this one. Tried to send one through and spring Zach Banks, but it was taken away, and now a pass up. That'll be out of the reach. No icing as a call as Godkin comes back and collects it for the Dukes. He's first on it. Now Murnahan trying to play one back down the wall. Over for Dunn. This one's played around the wall now into Wildcats possession, up into neutral ice. Banks was looking to get sprung, and now the Wildcats have to work it in and stay onside, which they do. Peyton Getty now working in. His shot blocked. A shot goes in from Nolan Breen, and that one just wide of the net. And now worked ahead. It's up for Zach Banks. Working in. Going to cut to the middle. And that one's just wide of the net. Now Ketty gets in front of that one. It'll hold the Dukes up for just a moment before they start this breakout. Now move back ahead. Up they go. This one just offside at the line. So we'll get a face-off with 2:01 to go. Now in the slot, this one's poked free by Madden Blandon. And then Nickerson will look to throw across ice for Etheridge. It's out of his reach. And McDonald goes up to Dunn now. He plays it back for Green. And now a chance in for Broussard, and that one's put wide of the net. Now Ringette will lift a high floater out past the blue line and gets to center, and McDonald collecting in his own zone at the Ringette line. Now Arsenault drops it back. This one's played up ahead, out of the reach of Arsenault, and now Ringette will be first to it behind the net. Etheridge gets it on the near side. He plays this one off the glass and just unable to get this one out. And now a long shot down from Ringette. Linesman says no ice, and Henry will go back to pick this one up. Now up goes Mason English, working this one ahead. Now a chance, that one taken away. 3-on-1 for the Wildcats with numbers. And now McRae looking back door for Pearl, and that one just off the end of his stick. He might have fanned on that. A great chance for the hat trick for Cohen Pearl. Now this one lifted back out to center. McRae will grab it. And that'll do it. Here for the Eastern Dukes, a successful weekend swing over here in the Ocean Playground. They move into first place past the St. John Vitoes with 36 points. So the Eastern Dukes in sole possession of first, as we say thank you for tuning in to High Button Sports. My name's Dayton Camo. Wishing you a happy Sunday and a happy weekend here from the Apple Dome. We'll see you next time.